We see a recording. Oh, there we go. Welcome everyone to day number 7 of the Fast for the Forgotten that Rise and Resist folks are participating in along with other activists. This is a rolling relay fast that we're all doing in solidarity with the hunger strikers from the Fund Excluded Workers campaign. And today we are going to be hearing from Judy and Anne, who are finishing their 24-hour fast today, along with Elvin and Wendy, who can't be with us today. Hopefully they'll be with us tomorrow and can speak then. And then we'll be hearing from the folks who are going to begin their fast today. So Judy, would you like to share a little bit about what your experience has been like?
This was the first day that I joined this group, and I think my experience was similar to what I heard many of you say. I found myself thinking about the hunger strikers a lot more, especially since I was forced to come to terms with how often I have the impulse to grab some random snack every time I pass even near the kitchen. And I also began to think more about not only what they're experiencing after 2 weeks and more of fasting, but what motivates people to take such a drastic step and how bad the situation has to be for them to decide to do this kind of thing. I also realized that many of them have kids and what it must be like to see your children go hungry. So I began to think also more about the larger situation, the food insecurity in this country, which is incredible considering how rich this country is. The fact that maybe 11 million or more kids are hungry part or all of the time. And in New York City, a lot of kids were depending on breakfast and lunch in schools. Then they didn't go to school anymore. And supposedly families could pick up meals, but you have to wonder how many families fell through the cracks on just that program alone. So I really hope that today is the day that New York State decides to do the right thing and create the Excluded Workers Fund, and then go on to create the Invest in New York Act and get it done now in the budget process or immediately afterwards, because time has run out for this type of thing a long time ago.
Anne?
Oh, just did everything Judy said, so beautiful, and I completely agree. And the only thing I can add is it was harder than I thought it was going to be. I had fasted for different reasons at other times, but well, I had to pack all our stuff up and move where I'm living because of a burst pipe in our building, and just in the act of packing food, as I was packing food, all afternoon, and then I kept thinking, is this how people feel? All those essential workers who are not getting any help, and they're packing our food, they're delivering our food, they're handling our food, but do they have enough to eat? Are they getting any help with that? So, at first I felt like resentful, God, having to look at all this food while I was fasting. But then I started to get hit by that like when people who are in a grocery store, people who are delivering food to other people, is that what they're going through? So I just, once again, we have, what is it, like 118 billionaires in this state. There's no reason they can't pay their fair share. And there's no reason as a society we can't provide for everyone. We just all need to pay our fair share. So, and pass the Invest in Our New York Act, and so we can fund everyone who's excluded, because no one should be. It's inhumane.
Great. Robert, you're joining our crew today. Welcome, and we're really glad to have you, and you're starting your fast today. So what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm deeply moved by what I've heard already, and I've been very touched or very disturbed by the inequality that is growing and growing and growing, the tax inequality. And so I came into this through Tax the Rich and Invest in Our New York. And saw that during the pandemic, those people who had money invested in things got richer and richer, and those people who were working got poorer and poorer. And I was very moved. I went to the demonstration on press conference on Monday, I think it was, and was very moved at the dedication of people who would go for long periods of time, what is 17 days now, without eating, because they feel so passionately about what they're doing, and that they're so desperate. And I agree with Judy that, you know, so many of the kids we taught together, so many of the kids got their food in high schools and in elementary schools, and that they're probably really suffering right now. And so it feels, I sort of went in just, I'll do it. And now I'm just feeling, being with you all, I feel like the depths of it. And I am glad to be a part of this. And I look forward to working in solidarity with essential workers who are undocumented, who are suffering, and who are providing our food, I saw Dolores Huerta on MSNBC last night, and I bless that she's still alive. I remember in California, when Ronald Reagan became governor, he vetoed the farm workers bill because all they wanted was to not have they wanted long-handed hoes so they wouldn't have to do back-breaking work every day, and he vetoed it. And I just saw the cruelty of that, and just bless Dolores Huerta that she's still with us after all of these decades, still fighting the struggle. So I'm here in solidarity with Dolores Huerta and those farm workers in California back there in the 1960s and 70s who were striking in the grape fields and things like that. So I'm proud to be a part of this group, and I'm proud that this group is a part of a larger group. And this makes me feel like I'm doing my activism with a greater level of depth. So thank you.
Thank you and welcome. And Leon, you're picking up the baton again. You've done it once before. So what are your thoughts second time around?
The problem, the inequity problem, existed before COVID. COVID just made it so much more evident what was going on. It's been the problem that other hunger strikers, that Gandhi and Martin Luther King have addressed as the underlying problem is of most other problems. Inequity is the underlying problem, and it continues. And this is a small step, and it's the minimum. It's the least I can do. People, our way of life that we all enjoy, so many different things, it's built on the system that crushes a lot of people, and it has to stop. It has to change, and this is just one mini step, and I'm doing this little minimal thing to try to push it along. It feels like the least I can do. So that's why I'm doing it again.
Well, when we launched this Fast for the Forgotten a week ago, we presumed that the state budget process was going to be over by today, and we have clarity on both the Invest in Our New York Act as well as the Fund for Excluded Workers, but we don't have that yet. So we're going to be kind of continuing this, our participation as Rise and Resistors in the Fast for the Forgotten, sort of on a day-by-day basis, depending on how things develop around that budget process when it finally comes to closure, and our own capacity. So, you know, we'll see everybody tomorrow. We'll take it one day at a time, keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best. So solidarity, good luck, Robert and Leon.
And
Good luck, guys.
Charlie.
Leon.
Luck.
You, honor to all of you.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Robert and Leon.